Hello, it's Andy and Peter over there
Good morning.
and Andy over there.
Oh,
We're just doing another 6 minute type YouTube type podcasty trailer thing, just to let you know that there's another podcast available from downstairs
for your
for your own enjoyment.
yes.
What did we talk about this time, Andy?
I can't remember.
Are you on drugs?
No, I'm pretty
Like-
sure we did talk about that.
Uppers, downers, poppers, whizzers, bangers. Others as well.
Others
Udders. Are you on udders?
No.
You've been sucking at the teeth of
crazy.
crazy udders.
Tom Cruise,
We're not going to talk about Tom Cruise this time,
except for that part.
but for that bit there.
And the bit where you make a reference to him later in the podcast.
Yeah, but we don't. I mean, we're not going to play the podcast now.
No.
Could do because of technology, but I'm not going to. So yeah, what have we talked about, Peter? Because Andy's not going to play ball.
Talked about the main
Do
thing.
you even enjoy doing these?
This is the point. He says he doesn't, but he fucking loves it.
Sitting at the other end of the
Are,
table.
are you in my mind? No. I play devil's advocate between
I'm
Peter's
gonna
extreme
break
views
your
and your
toes.
not so extreme views on the other side of the fence.
We've got a vicious right winger over with Peter. We've
So-
got me, the hippie lefty type person, and then we got you in the middle with like fucking
Pretty much.
some weird version of Bill O'Reilly, except not.
Yeah.
In fact, nothing like Bill O'Reilly at all.
No.
Who would you be like? Think of some TV pundit that you can model yourself after. You don't have a clue, do you?
No.
No.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Basically, you're sitting there like Mariah Carey.
I've heard she's quite right wing. Right wing.
Mariah Carey?
Right wing.
She might be actually. I don't know.
Are you sure?
No.
I've seen her at those
think she's
neo-Nazi
left.
rallies.
She spent so much of her time taking coke. Is that Mariah Carey?
No, I think you're thinking of someone else.
I think you're thinking of Whitney Houston,
That's the one. No.
which is completely separate to Mariah Carey.
Oh, all those fucking singers. They're all
There
the
we go.
same.
Right wing.
They're devil's music.
Right wing.
You know who's got hands? The devil. And he uses them for holding.
Now we've got to say something left wing to balance that out.
I love Satan. Is that fairly left wing?
No, that'd be the right wing, surely.
Yeah, the right wings are all into
Jesus.
Jesus, which actually ties in quite nicely with what our podcast was about.
Yes.
Since it is so
and John
close.
Venables.
No, well, we'll leave that.
That was in the podcast.
Yeah, we started off talking about Christmas because it's Christmas time soon.
Yes.
So
indeed
we
it
brought
is.
up Jesus, who comes in and leaves presents for people.
But it's not Jesus.
It is Jesus.
It's not.
Well, why do we celebrate
You
it
know
then?
what? You're really not keeping with the party line.
No.
I think me and you're going to have to have talks
That's
out
because
here
you're on
about
the
that.
extreme right, and it is on the extreme left.
So there's a clear line between us.
And I'm
Just
in the
stick
middle of
to
it.
it.
But yeah, so we started talking about the baby Jesus, and then we moved on to other Bible stories, and then we started talking about films. I don't know
Horror
why.
There's some
films.
horror movie stuff in
Yeah,
there.
totally not Christmassy films.
Yep.
No.
We should talk about Home Alone. That's a horrible, horrific film.
If you think about it, it really is.
It is. I mean, they would have died several times, actually, those two burglars.
Yeah.
They were basically murdered repeatedly by a child.
Yep.
Talking of murdering repeatedly by a child, we then moved on to Jamie Bulger. But we dealt with that in a serious way.
Yeah.
Well, two of us did.
But we did.
I think
No
we're
one made
quite
any jokes.
adult.
Because it was one of those things. Then we were talking about this, that, and the other, and then people's views on what should have happened to.
The thing is, it's a sensitive subject, and people are going to be offended by the very fact that we brought it up. But
in a comedy podcast.
because we are adults, we can talk about something.
Whoa. I never signed up to that contract.
I will say, none of us made any jokes about the tragic murder of a toddler by two 10-year-olds.
No.
No, but you made the tragic murder of a baby by 3 men
Yeah,
comedy.
we mentioned that at the end, although it was completely fictitious and never happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's whimsy, which isn't offensive. Listen to the podcast to find out what we're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, so we covered a few varied topics, most of them not to do with Christmas, and then we got back to it, and the Bible's in there somewhere.
It's a bit of joy, a bit of laughter, building up to the Christmas.
Mostly horrible tragedy.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about racism this time. I'm feeling quite bad about that now.
Racism is bad.
Racism is bad. Talking about racism is good.
Yes. Debate is good.
Debate is good.
Nice
Blind-
debate is good.
Blind, ignorant racism.
Can't
Bad.
really fit racism into Christmas though.
But you can.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yeah.
That's not a racist song. That's talking about snow.
Oh, come on. Race is mentioned in the first 5 words.
You've got to read between the lines, man. Read between the lines, Andy. Read between the lines.
Yep. Right.
So yeah. But no, we didn't discuss racism actually. Which
So-
is odd because it seems to come up in all the others.
Yeah, so if you fancy a break from racism, give it a go.
Yeah. No racism involved.
She's always pleasant. But yeah, so we now have Facebook and the Twitters. Check out the links below.
If we remember what they are,
We will. We can look them up. We have the power of the internet.
we
So.
do. We've got a professional Googler.
To interwebs.
So yeah, so we'll leave that with you. Merry Christmas, I suppose.
Yeah, if we don't talk to you before, have a Merry Christmas and a Good New Year.
For all the little Jewish people out there, Happy Hanukkah, if that's this time of year. For all the Muslims,
Happy holidays.
Enjoy
try
yourselves.
not to kill anyone. I think that's good advice.
Ooh.
Pretty much. Let's have a peaceful Christmas, shall we?
Whatever race, creed, colour you are,
Basically, celebrate your
Time
particular
off
religious
work.
holiday, or if you're an atheist, don't celebrate at all and be miserable and drink yourself to death. this
Celebrate your
Christmas.
time off work. Because everybody will have that.
Unless
Pretty
you're
much
unless you're a
everybody
tube driver.
will have that. Or even tube drivers.
No, fuck
Get
tube
some
drivers.
yeah, fuck true
Who
drivers.
needs? I mean, sorry. If you sign up to be a tube driver, driving a train, yeah. Surely, when you sign on the dotted line, you might say, "What days off do I get? Do I get Boxing Day off?" And they'll say, "No, because people need the trains on Boxing Day."
You know
Some
what really
people
annoyed
do.
me
so
about
then
that?
you go out on strike and say you're not going to go to work unless you get quadruple pay and a day off in lieu. That's the equivalent of 600 quid for a day's work.
And you know what else is annoying? When they were complaining about the state they had to work in tunnels.
What the fuck?
You drive a fucking tube train, you're going to be in tunnels. That's the whole fucking point. Dickheads.
Hello, I've come in to be interviewed. I've answered the job application, Mr. Peter, for the position of tube driver.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. I've got
Go
a
ahead.
list here.
Go ahead.
Number 1, what days off will I have? Because I'm thinking 3-day weekends and every other Tuesday.
Doesn't quite work like that, mate.
Well, I think you'll find it probably should, but we'll move on.
Let's
Now,
go.
I'm fairly scared of the dark. So will I be forced to work in the tunnels, in the underground train system?
Yeah, it's kind of the job description. We don't really stop the trains when off between the indoory and outdoory bits.
So, right, so what you're telling me is to apply for this job I have to work on Boxing Day and work underground.
Yeah.
Where do I sign? I'll speak to the union once I've done so. What a bunch of wankers.
And that's insane.
End scene.
Thanks for your input on that one again, Andrew.
Well, I would just like to say that tube drivers, if you are listening, I don't share their views.
Sorry,
and
tube drivers, if you are listening, you should really turn off your iPods and concentrate on what you're doing.
They might be listening at home.
They're not going to be listening at home, they should be working.
And then again, who's
I'm
the
just
one who
gonna
got
say
told
that-
off by a train driver?
That's a train driver, that's different. And that was because I was stopping a door from closing for a certain person.
Yeah, but you might not have you might as well not have bothered, because you put your hand in it. How am I going to get through that gap?
Hey, you got on the train, didn't you? Anyway,
Anyway,
tube drivers, you're wonderful at the time.
fuck yourselves.
Don't,
Fuck yourselves.
Don't stop me from getting on the tube. Cause
They can't stop you from anything. And if they try, I'll just nut them and push them in the tracks.
No, let's not incite violence towards train drivers, no matter how
Right,
much they
if you
deserve
come
it
to
or
my
not.
house, I will headbutt you.
Especially in a train. Who needs a train?
Here we go.
Anyway,
Anyway,
basically, the podcast is full of arguments,
as always.
as always. So
Same as this little trailer.
download it and like listen to it and join in. Why not? Have an argument with us.
Yeah, comments,
You could be on a train with your earphones in,
arguing.
arguing with us.
You'll probably get the whole carriage to yourself.
Probably will. Anyway,
You're wrong!
If you want to speak to any of us, leave us a message.
what was it? We've got an answer phone or something.
No, I'm on YouTube or something.
On
YouTube's, comments, Twitters,
Facebooks.
Twitter us.
Twitter us. Tweet
Facebook
us.
us.
We're on the
Twitter us.
Tweety.
That sounds quite a lot like clitoris.
It does.
Clitoris!
Right, we've already done 10 minutes for the 6-minute trailer, so I think we should probably stop.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if we don't see you before. Talk to you before, whatever.
Happy secular holidays to all.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Be merry.
Just have a good time. And be
And
good to everyone.
indeed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yo.